Welcome to Business Class, a podcast for people wanting to upgrade their thinking, upgrade their learning, and upgrade their life. I'm your host, Eugenia Panterhos, founder of Business Class Collective, best-selling author and life coach. If you're an entrepreneur, a startup, or someone who dreams of reaching their full potential, then you're in the right place. You'll feel empowered and inspired to design the life you've always wanted. Let's do this. Hi gorgeous people, welcome back to the show. I'm so happy you've joined us here again at Business Class Collective. Today we're talking about the power of our daily habits. We're all creatures of habit. We can get caught up in overthinking the past and the future and living up to others' expectations or comparing ourselves instead of appreciating just how far we've come. So let's be honest, who hasn't become muddled with their thoughts only to derail good habits and lifestyle choices? We are human after all, and I'm guilty too. A step back doesn't mean that you can't make a significant leap forward. Our thoughts greatly influence our habits, but we can stand in our power and do something about it. So if you have good habits, they become part of your lifestyle. Equally, bad habits can do the same thing and wreak havoc on your well-being. But changing bad habits is about letting go of what's holding you back. When you think of it that way, it's easy to make those incremental changes. So think about that sneaky chocolate bar that may be luscious on the lips but not on the hips, or the continuous swiping of your credit card so that you can feel good about yourself for a moment. That is, until the statement is due for payment. Good habits help us to live a good life, and if we're lucky, we get to live a great life. Who doesn't want that? But we need more than just habits. Our character is shaped by choices, habits, and values such as loyalty, honesty, kindness, integrity, courage, justice, and humility. So how can we live a life filled with good habits that guide us, uplift us, and encourage us to live the fulfilling and happy life that we all desire? Engaging in good habits helps us build success both personally and professionally. But recently, it's interesting, the measure of success has been more about personality, public image, and skills. But what makes successful people stand out? It's about having an alluring personality, that kind of goes without saying, and a skill set capability, but team this with highly valued principles. And that seems to be the winning formula when you have all three. To quote one of the grandfathers of philosophy, Aristotle himself, he wrote that we are what we repeatedly do. He reminds us that excellence is not an act but a habit. How powerful is that? In more modern times, Stephen Covey, the author of The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, wrote about habits and cultivating character to achieve sustainable success. This book greatly influenced my life and it remains a firm favourite, and I highly recommend it to anyone who's looking to adopt habits that can change your life permanently. So let's look at Covey's 7 habits and what they mean. Habit 1 is to be proactive. So that means you're in charge of your life. You don't blame others or external factors, and you're not a victim, but instead you understand that although you may have endured hardships in life, you are the sum of your choices. Build self-improvement and build confidence by setting small attainable goals, and focus and act on what you can control and influence instead of what you can't. Habit 2 begins with the end in mind. So it means about having a life plan and think about what people will say about you at the end of your life. This might be daunting to actually work on, but by thinking about your end of life, you're actually thinking about the daily habits that make up your life and how it is that you will be remembered. So define what success means for you and create a personal mission statement on how to achieve them. When doing this, think about what you want to be, that's your character, what you want to do, that means contributions, service, or achievements, and number 3, the values upon which both of these are based. This mission statement will become the basis from which you make every decision in your life and will guide you to live a principle-led life. Habit 3 is about putting first things first. This habit focuses on the practice of effective self-management and the importance of prioritizing and achieving your most important goals first, instead of constantly reacting to urgencies. Not all urgencies, are urgent. So consider these questions. What's the one thing you could do regularly that you aren't currently doing that would improve your personal life? And then ask, what's the one thing you could do to improve your business or professional life? By asking these questions, you become aware that you have the power to significantly change your life in the present moment. And it means having independent will and free choice, something that in this modern day and age we might take for granted. But it's also about intimately knowing that you are capable of making decisions and acting on them. The power is with you. It means cultivating the ability to say no to things that don't match your belief and principles. Habit 4 is to think win-win. The win-win philosophy means that you collaborate more effectively by building relations built on trust. It means that everyone involved is happy with the outcome. It's about cooperation, not competition. It's about finding a solution that suits everyone. Habit 5 is seek first to understand and then to be understood. So communicating clearly is an important skill set in life and business. The way you communicate reveals your character. With effective communication, you can influence others by developing a deep understanding of their needs and perspectives. And when you seek to understand and be understood, that's the basis of excellent communication. Synergize is habit 6. At the core, synergy is the desire to reach win-win agreements. It's the essence of leadership with principles that help to unify people instead of separate them. It's based on the belief that the whole is greater than the sum of its parts. So it's about teamwork, building and creating with others. Habit 7 is about sharpening the saw. This habit is about working on yourself, continuing to learn and to make the most important investments in your life regularly and consistently and in a balanced manner. It's about increased motivation and energy and enjoying the work-life balance by making time for renewing activities. It's about pampering yourself physically, emotionally, spiritually and mentally. Let's look how we can do this. Firstly, look after your physical body with exercise, nutrition and stress management. Look after your emotional well-being by living life with purpose and meaning and by demonstrating empathy, synergy and service. Enhance your spiritual well-being by participating in relaxation exercises and meditation and becoming more centered and aligned with your value system. And finally, become stronger mentally by reading, visualizing, planning and writing. Continue to challenge yourself, educate yourself and expand your mind. For me, I've included crossword puzzles, which I've been completing daily for the last few years. More recently, I do the Wordle, and that's stimulating my mind in a different way. I read widely, and I enjoy time planning and writing, as you know, and visualizing what my life is and can be. So before we go, here's an exercise to help you do a habit audit. Firstly, identify your current habits to see if they're aligned with your principles. Secondly, make a swap. Substitute an unhealthy habit with a healthier choice. Number 3, what cues can you establish to help you achieve your habit? E.g., if you're looking to exercise more, it might be putting your exercise clothes ready for the following day. Or if you want to read more inspiring literature, placing an inspiring book on your bedside table to read in the morning instead of scrolling on your phone first thing. And finally, how can you reward yourself for committing to your new habit. Remember, old habits won't bring new results, so ask yourself, what do you need to change today, and take action accordingly. I hope you've enjoyed this podcast, and I hope that you've gained some new insights into what habits you might want to change and introduce and live the life that you're destined to live. Until next time. You've been listening to Business Class presented by Eugenia Panterhouse, founder of Business Class Collective. If you haven't yet, go to Apple Podcast, subscribe, rate and review this podcast. Share the love and let your family and friends know too. You can follow Business Class Collective on Instagram and Facebook. Join me next time.